Hello everyone, it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. I'm doing this live because I only want to do it once. And make sure I'm live. Yes, good, I'm live. Our current has been cutting in and out in regards to the internet, so I'm hoping I can get all this up in one shot. And I'm hoping I am not too in the weeds when I do this video. So Jacque Fresco is wrong on music. I've searched for the video. Look, I've watched more Jacque Fresco content than any person should probably own up to. I like the guy. I like the guy on a lot of the stuff he says. And just as a primer, Jacque Fresco is the guy who invented this idea of the Venus Project. The Venus Project looks at our society and it diagnoses it in a very particular way. It says the problems that are associated with the way we organize ourselves. Well, the problems that we're associated with, us, meaning humanity. We always say that, oh, poverty, war, all these things are just natural to being human. Well, no, they're natural to being human in the current model that we arrange ourselves. This model is not real. This game space is not real. It's not made by God or something else. It's us. We crafted this game space. We ourselves exist in this game space. In this game space, the thing that we engage in is killing us. It's murdering this planet. And if this planet goes, we go with it. If we want to fundamentally change how we interact with this world, we need to fundamentally change how we interact with one another. And that means reorganize ourselves in a way to get rid of some of the problems that we have. War, poverty, those things can be eradicated purely based upon our technical know-how. We never set ourselves with the task of, how do we eradicate poverty? How do we eradicate homelessness? How do we eradicate crime and all these other vagaries of our society? We don't necessarily do that. We look at these things through political lenses. Fresco looks at this stuff as a technical issue. How do you make sure people have the things that they need? That's not a question that we ask. We ask the question in a different way from a system of markets. Fresco looks at this from the perspective of the human being. How do we allow human beings to be people? We allow them to be people by allowing robots to do the job. Now, this is a complete shift in paradigm. He calls it a resource-based economy as opposed to this economy based on markets. That's just the primer of Fresco. Fresco's fucking fascinating. But this thing of music. So I've been looking for the video where he had this conversation about music, but I don't know if it was enmeshed on the topic of music. It was just kind of maybe enmeshed to something else. And Fresco is talking to this person, and it's kind of making this point that, you know, music is senseless, it's pointless. You know, there's no... Put it this way, from Fresco's point of view, and if I'm wrong, correct me. It's like apes using bones to hit coconuts. It's like, what's the point of this? These people are, you know, shaking and gyrating in these strange ways. These people are insane. Now, some of the stuff, I would agree with him. A lot of the stuff is cultural phenomena. Fair enough. There's a lot of stuff that I consider that is not real. Fair enough. But I would defend music to the end. I would defend music to the end. He is massively wrong on this. I think he is infinitely wrong if you can even make a case of infinity being used in a sense. I experience music in the same way I experience science fiction. It's art. Now, if you want to make this argument that we want machines to do the labor so human beings can to do other things, I would argue that music is a basic expression of what it means to be a person. I would make that case any day of the week and twice on Sundays. You may call it a cultural phenomenon, fair enough, but I would argue it's one that we have gravitated towards, we've latched on to, because to some degree it's in essence of what it means to be us. I don't need to have a 4-year-old tapping his foot by playing music. I don't have to instruct him to do it. He does it because he feels it. Don't need to have a baby to do it. He does it because he feels it. There's something about it, even when he doesn't understand the words that baby taps his feet. He understands it. He gets it. Guttural level. What it means to be a person. It is art. It is an expression of who we are. It is an expression of who we are as much as Star Trek is an expression of who we are, or at the very least this want of what humanity wants to be or aspires to be. Music responds in multiple capacities. Whether you're talking about this thing of pushing revolts, whether you have a society that's ensconced in some kind of totalitarian regime, you have this music that's going through, pushing people further along, giving people information. Even from the standpoint of just human expression of what it means to be a person. Stevie Wonder, one of the lyrics She gives me strength like a Sunday prayer, just like my own right hand, my girl was always there. That's poetry. Now to hear Stevie Wonder sings it adds a different level of context. Adding a voice adds context. It is defiant, and it is getting across how he feels about this person more than what you could just say in words. She gives me strength like a Sunday prayer, just like my own right hand, my girl was always there. Oh, I love that line. I love that line. You don't necessarily have to be a Christian to fully understand the gravity of what Stevie Wonder is saying and how he feels about that woman that he's putting across. Now, you can say it's pointless. I would say that he got across how he was feeling better than any words could have gotten across in any technical manual. You understand what Stevie Wonder feels about his woman because you understand how he's getting that across in just a few lines. There's no technical manual, technical detail, or anything else that's going to get across how he feels about that woman to the gravity and the degree that he can get it across in that particular song. Let's do another one. Leanna La Havas, she had this line, they say our love won't last forever, but they could be wrong. Now, I get it. The love thing is a little much, but engage her for a moment. When they say our love won't last forever, they could be wrong. Now, granted, you get into these conversations of who is they, and you're being a little paranoid and all this other stuff. But it is defiant, and I love it. Like, it's this particular person is raptured in some level of community, and this particular community is looking in this particular relationship in a particular way. And this woman has bound herself to this particular guy, and as a duo, she's being defiant. They say our love won't last forever. Those people could be wrong. Those people could be completely wrong. As that song goes on, look, I've wowed out about aspects of women's behavior before, and I'm going to do it again. There's a part of the song where she's like, hear me out, just hear me out, oh, hear me out, don't push me out. And as she's saying this, she's getting louder and louder and more belligerent as she goes through it. She's not belligerent. It's always put in a particular way, English way. But intense. And I guess you could put yourself in the context of this particular person is having an argument and this particular person is trying to get something across and the other person's not listening to him, and they're getting more intense and more over the top as the person is not necessarily giving them the form that they want. And she is standing there in a certain amount of femininity and a certain amount of defiance, saying, hear me out, listen to what I'm saying, listen to what the fuck I'm saying. Now, again, what's his name could say, well, look, she's talking about love, and love is not real, and love is chemical impulses and everything else. Fair enough. But come on. There is an aspect of humanity where you are actually feeling stuff. Now, you can say those feelings aren't real. I would say that for the moment, for the person who's feeling them, those feelings are pretty damn real. And anybody that's been in a tense relationship, anybody that's been in a relationship where it's like, oh my God, I want to strangle the shit out of this person, but I cannot leave this person. They get it. They get it on a guttural level. It is an aspect of what it means to be a person. Now, I'm saying this, and I'm using this defense of this in this particular way because I'm making a point that this is just human expression. It's how human beings express themselves. It can be aggressive, it can be violent, it can be sweet, it can be tender, but all of those things are ultimately just expressions of what it means to be a person. You can call it senseless. You can say that it should do something very specific or anything else. I would say if the goal of society is to get people to the point where they can fuck off and just be people, what does it mean to be a person when your needs are met and you have robots doing the jobs? I would guarantee that music would flourish. I would guarantee that these areas of art and humanities and all this other stuff would probably flourish. If people don't necessarily have to be bound to a position, they would probably focus on some other things. And I would wager to you that one of those things that they would gravitate towards will be music. If you're talking about 1,000 years into the future, you're going to have music. It doesn't matter. You're not going to get rid of it. You're not going to get rid of it. And mind you, I don't know why you would want to. Those slave hymns where they would use music in order to give across information and get people across on boats and all this other stuff. Those slave hymns that were used to instill people with a certain amount of energy and strength in really shitty scenarios. Why on earth would you look at that and find it to be worthless or not necessarily meeting a particular standard? And this is where, I lose Fresco. You're not going to tell people how to live in that way. And I understand that Fresco would say, well, it's not Fresco telling people how to live. Whatever. On this one, this is Fresco. This is Fresco being over the top. I can't find the video where Fresco is having this conversation. I've looked for this. I've looked for this video again. And I don't want to. This is a defense of music, regardless, and I've heard Fresco make this point at least once or twice. But Fresco has so much content that it's hard to always pin down exactly something that he said that you've seen him say and all this other stuff. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. I don't want to belabor this point too much. Hey guys, Rebel Cage Rattler, I'm here now. I hope everyone had an awesome day today. Today was actually pretty good. My wife and I went scooting about, went to Station 2. I did a flash mob at Station 2. It's a burger joint in Richmond. They have humanely raised foods. It's awesome. It's actually pretty good. When her and I got engaged, I did a flash mob at that joint. And they played Bruno Mars, I Think I'm Gonna Marry You, and everyone there in the stadium just got up and starts dancing for 30 seconds. My wife is being a fat kid. She has like her french fry in her mouth or something like that, and she's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing in this situation. Am I supposed to be dancing? What the hell is going on, and why are these people doing this? And she's just like looking around. Now, just so happened, there was this place called the Bearded League of Virginia, and they just so happened to be there at that particular burger joint at that particular time, and they also just got them started dancing. So it was fucking awesome. And then after a while, you proposed, and she was like, "Oh my god, that's awesome!" So we went to eat there today. So it was fun, and then we were riding around town. So today wasn't bad. Today was a good day. Hey, Stevie Spinster. Oh, thank you, Spinster. I appreciate it. I appreciate you liking my work, too. Machines should give us a way to be human again and to do human things like think, create, and be part of the community. Red economics. And if that is, of course, a yes. That is a yes. Problem is, you have people so ensconced in this idea of work. Like, their identity is firmly bound to what they do. And in their heads, well, people have to work. People have to work. People always have to work. Not realizing that they've created a society or an economy that people work just for the sake of working. You're not working from a standpoint of, I need to supply certain needs. It has nothing to do with it. You would think, from a natural standpoint, people will work to the point of supplying their needs. That's not it. People, you have more goods and needs than you would ever need at this point. You have a surplus. Now, in order to get people to use a surplus, they essentially, use advertisement to entice people to buy more stuff than they need, so they just cover themselves in junk. And then buying stuff becomes a cultural phenomenon as opposed to being a phenomenon of meeting needs. Your society has changed in that way. You have marketing, you have advertisement, you need to buy this stuff. You have this kind of social pressure. So on Christmas, people need to buy a bunch of gifts. And on this occasion, people should buy gifts. And this way, buy gifts and everything is oriented around buying. You're buying purely just so somebody can have a job. You're not buying because you need stuff. It's like your society, your economy is arranged in this weird way. You have a finite planet, and despite having a finite planet, your economy is based on using as many resources as you can possibly use in order to keep people working, and well, yeah, it's just keep people working. Yes, you're making people massive amounts of cash, but often this is based on this idea of we need jobs, we need jobs, we need jobs, we need jobs. You don't need jobs, man. You need to make sure that people's needs are met. Those things are very different. Those things are very different. Yeah, those things aren't the same. People think they are. They're not. Alright, I'm going to kill this because I don't know when my signal is going to fall out. And it's been on and off for the past few hours. So, guys, I wouldn't kill this. I'm going to still look for the Jacque Fresco quote. If I can find it, I'll put it into the video itself. Because I don't like necessarily putting some up saying Jacque Fresco with dogging music, and I can't find a quote where Jacque Fresco was dogging music. Look, I like the guy. I lean in the direction that he's coming from. I have questions about how you pull some of the stuff off. Like, if somebody's cleaning the sewer, I mean, are you going to build a machine for each and everything that you need to be done? And who's building the machine for each and everything that needs to be done? And some stuff. Like, it gets into this technical, this kind of peeking at stuff. But the basic premise of the idea, I like. And I would make the case that we don't really have a choice. Our ecology, our environment, all this stuff is collapsing around us. The world is on fire. And we're scooting along as if everything is okay. Just lurching along. No purpose, no nothing. Just lurching as is. Each person doing whatever they want. Screw the societal consequences. Screw the global consequences. Fresco is making a point. We're going to hit a wall. I agree with Fresco. We're going to hit a wall. So our society is going to have to change regardless. And it's not going to matter. The question is, when do you make that change? Do you make that change when you've hit that wall? Or do you make the change beforehand, recognizing that, okay, we're going to hit a wall if we keep going the way we're going? So I'll leave it at that. All right, guys. If you enjoy the content, feel free to share, like, and subscribe. And, of course, you can always support the Patreon. Thanks, everybody.